Xtreme. Them gains, extreme. Shit we see, extreme. Wanna know about corruption? Well, listen to what I see. An algorithmic money making, taking, fucking scheme. And if you let it, you'll get it. They'll gut you till you bleed. A lot of y'all get fucked by the bucket that you think it's free. Yeah, it's me. We're a team, Xtreme.
What's up, y'all? What's up, Xtreme Gainz family? I'm Chuck, and this is Xtreme Gainz. I am not a financial advisor. Nothing I say is or ever will be financial advice. Please do not take it as such. Today is Sunday, Sunday, January 22nd, 2023, and this is my AMC, GME, and SPY weekly update and preparation video where I go over everything that I am personally looking at for all three tickers moving into tomorrow and beyond. As always, I hope y'all had a great end of the week in the market. More importantly, I hope you made some extreme gains for yourselves. I'm going to go over some of my regulars, my snake algo method for all three tickers, some macro comparatives, and some technical levels and technical setups. So with all of that said, let's dig in. I hope y'all are enjoying your weekend as well, diving right into the charts. Currently on your screen is AMC and my current set of intra-week snakes that I have been tracking. AMC finished the day on Friday, regular trading hours, even Steven, and then down in after hours 1.09%, ending the week trading at 546. The current set of intra-week snakes, like I said, are on the screen. You can see the continued dead-on fulfillment of both of them all of last week, and what the projection would be from both of them separately moving forward into tomorrow and beyond if price action were to continue to fulfill one of them. Then the macro comparative for AMC that I have been tracking, most if not all of you know, is this macro double bottom from prior to the January 2021 run-up. Here is the 30,000 foot overhead view of it that I have been tracking for over a year now. The most recent fulfilling position of it is right here, and the most recent location of price action after Friday's fulfillment is right there. You can see the continued fulfillment of it, obviously, and likewise what the obvious projection would be from it moving forward into tomorrow and beyond if price action were to continue to fulfill it. Just like I said in Thursday's update and prep video, it's do or die time as far as this position goes from this macro comparative and its potential projection with that continued fulfillment of it to the upside. If it does not continue to fulfill this thing as it is currently projecting in this position, I had discussed another position of it previously, which was actually the original position of it. I did put a separate video out on AMC and that position of it regarding the upcoming potential reverse split. Go check that video out, or if not, obviously, if price action does not continue to fulfill it, I will be looking at that one and potentially going over that here on the update and prep videos this week. Other than that, from a technical perspective and technical levels that I am looking at on AMC will look like this. As far as the current position of price action, it looked like we got the fulfillment of the daily third in my macro box top schematic last week, dead on, and it did provide that resistance and rejection back downside, and it appears like a potential compressed compact W formation forming here. So if that were the case, I'm looking for that neckline breach back upside for then an eventual retest of that top. And then I'd be looking at a validation or invalidation of that top. A validation, I'd be looking for a rejection back downside, fulfilling this macro double top formation. An invalidation of it would be a continuation to upside, and at that point I'd be looking for a move directly up to that 4-hour third. So the significant levels regarding those setups to the upside, looking at that neckline, I'd be looking at a breach of 575. A breach of that, I'd be looking for the retest of the previous top at 635. And an invalidation of that with a continuation to upside through it, I'd be looking for a move directly up to around 740 to 750. However, back downside, if that significant level of support at 536 were to breach, the next level down I'm looking at's 503, followed by the 433. And that is everything that I am looking at with AMC. Up next is GME. GME finished the day on Friday, regular trading hours as projected, up 2.99% and then down 0.31% in after hours, ending the week trading at 1955. The current intra-week snake that I have been tracking and that's been fulfilling is on your screen in blue. This is the day of the previous divergence from and completion of the previous intra-week snake. And you can see last week, price action continued to fulfill it dead on. You can see the location of price action within it and what the projection would be from it moving forward into tomorrow and beyond if price action were to continue to fulfill it. From a technical perspective with the setup and levels, similar to AMC, the macro double bottom scenario that fulfilled to the upside, fulfilling this lower macro third, potential third. If it's a lower, I do have a potential upper third sitting up here. So where price action is currently located, I'm looking for that 1948 significant level of support to remain as support for a continuation to upside. If it were to do that, I'm looking for a potential retest of that previous top, and then I'd be looking for a validation or invalidation, just like AMC. A validation would be a rejection and a back downside, therefore fulfilling this macro double top. An invalidation would be a blow by right through it, back up here to this potential upper macro third. Then the levels in regards to those potential scenarios that I will be looking at and keeping my eyes on will be to the upside. Like I said, a confirmation of the 1948 as support. Be looking for a move up to the 2170 at minimum, as it is a previous significant level of support and resistance. Potentially a retest of that previous top at around 2230. An invalidation of that top for the continuation to upside. Again, I'd be looking at the 2525 as it was a previous significant level of support and resistance, and potentially a move just above that at around 2565. However, back downside, if the 1948 were to breach, the next level down I'm looking at is 1803, followed by $17 for that midline support resistance. And that is everything that I am looking at with GME. Last but not least is SPY. SPY finished the day on Friday, regular trading hours, up 1.86%, and then up an additional 0.10% in after hours, ending the week trading at 396.28. The current intra-week snake that I have been tracking is on the screen in blue. This is the day of the previous divergence in its straight up position that originally started fulfilling candle for candle. All of this price action here fulfilled candle for candle, but in a mirrored manner. And then price action converged back with it, as you see there. We had fulfilled this to the downside last week going into Friday, and you can see here an obvious divergence from it, or what appears to be a potential divergence from it with Friday's price action. So I'm looking at this one in two potential ways, one of which is what you see, and it would require a rejection off of this internal 1 hour third and an engulfing move right back downside to converge back with it for the eventual continued fulfillment of it as it stands. The second would be potentially mirroring this again and putting it in its mirrored position, and then likewise waiting to see a convergence back with it to the upside, and then in a subsequent continued fulfillment of it in that position. So those are the two positions of this current macro comparative that I am looking at, both of which will depend on this confluence of resistance between the previous top and the macro descending level of resistance, and where that third intersects right there, making an X marks the spot, and how price action interacts with that level. Obviously, whether it rejects back downside or whether it breaches for an invalidation of it and a continuation to upside. Then the second scenario with intra-week snake that I am looking at, I did clip a new set of intra-week snakes on Thursday, therefore looking at the previous day prior to and last week's price action diverting from it. The blue day of divergence failed to continue to fulfill to the downside with Friday's price action, so it would technically be invalidated right now, and or this would be a divergence from it in the mirrored position, requiring me to put it in the mirrored position. Obviously, it shows essentially everything that the red shows the day prior to right now, and it is dead on, which you'll see in a minute, so I am not going to view this in the immediate. However, I am going to keep it off to the side for the time being. Now, like I was saying, the red day prior to, in that scenario of clipping new intra-week snakes, with its initial placement on Thursday was right here, and you can see that price action fulfilled this thing dead on, candle for candle, with all of Friday's price action. You can see the continued fulfillment of it, like I had just said, and what the projection would be from it moving forward into tomorrow and beyond if price action were to continue to fulfill it. So this is essentially what I will be looking at from an intra-week snake perspective regarding SPY moving into specifically tomorrow and then potentially beyond, depending upon what price action does and how it may or may not interact, like I said, with that confluence of resistance. Then from a technical perspective, with the technical levels and setup that I am looking at, likewise with SPY, the macro box top schematic fulfilled last week with that double bottom, or I guess 2 weeks ago with the double bottom breakout to the upside and the fulfillment up here to that macro third. We did put the double top formation in, broke down to this compressed compact W, just like AMC and GME are potentially setting up like right now, and got that neckline breach on Friday back upside to that internal 1 hour third. So to the upside, I would be looking for price action to potentially continue up again to retest that previous top and this confluence of resistance right here at around the $400 price level. A validation of that, I'd be looking for either a dead on 1 point rejection downside or somewhat of a build out and then a rejection downside, likewise setting up this macro double top scenario, or the invalidation of it for the continuation to upside. And if it were to do that, I'm looking for it to move directly up here again to that macro third at around the 406 price level. Back downside, if it were to reject directly from where it's at here along that 1 hour third, or come up here and build out and reject off that top, the next level down I'd be looking at for support would be right here around the 392, followed by the 388, followed by the 382 macro ascending level of support. My friends, my family, that is everything that I am personally looking at with all three tickers moving into tomorrow and beyond. And that is everything I have for this video. If you made it to the end of the video, thank you all very much. Don't forget to smash the like button on your way out. Good luck in the markets tomorrow. Make some extreme gains for yourselves. I'll have the next update and prep video out on Tuesday after market close, and then I'll be live here on the YouTube channel and on the Twitch channel on Wednesday all day long from 9 a.m. until market close. Set a reminder. Don't forget about it. Come by, hang out with us. I hope to see you all then. Enjoy the rest of your Sunday fun day, and I will talk to you all on the next one. Later.